Hi friends, in 2021 I released Woke the Movie, which takes viewers on a deep dive into many well-known and some lesser-known internet conspiracies. And one of the most crazy topics covered is the notion that an alarming chunk of the world's wealthiest people may just very well be under the influence of someone or something just outside our conscious reality. If this is true, then where do they come from? The universe is vast and almost certainly harbors a wide variety of life forms. Despite this, every official agency tasked with exploring outside our atmosphere's official position is that no such life has been discovered, not even on a microbial level. Yet to a large subculture, the question of whether or not we're alone in the universe has been answered. These enthusiasts cite a rich history of human-alien contact spanning from the beginning of civilization. And even if you think they're crazy, they cite a few examples from the modern era that are quite head-scratching, such as the Battle of Los Angeles. In 1942, 5 years before Roswell, the west coast of the United States was on high war alert just months after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. Major cities were defended by batteries of anti-aircraft artillery. And on one quiet February evening, an unknown object was spotted over the airspace of Los Angeles. A citywide blackout was ordered, and searchlights and anti-aircraft shells lit up the sky.
Anti-aircraft guns went into action against unidentified aircraft in the Los Angeles area shortly after 3 a.m. Pacific wartime this morning. The unidentified object, which some sources thought might be a blimp, moved slowly down the Pacific coast from Santa Monica and disappeared south of Long Beach. Army officials declined to comment on the possibility that the object might have been a blimp. However, it required nearly 30 minutes to travel some 25 miles. Far slower than an airplane.
The guns didn't stop until 4 a.m., and despite tracking the object over 25 miles and expending over 1,400 rounds of ammunition, the official military explanation was that there was nothing in the sky, and that the entire incident was just, quote, war jitters. Another widely witnessed sighting occurred a decade later in 1952, when what appeared to be an entire fleet of unidentified objects flew right over Washington, D.C. This was witnessed by thousands, picked up by radar, and was the subject of many sensational front-page headlines. But officially, it was just an atmospheric disturbance. But perhaps the most credible UFO phenomena happened in 1989 over Belgium,
bright white light
when over 1,500 witnesses, including police officers, spotted a large black triangle hovering silently over the town of Eupen. Despite the many witnesses, this is the only known image of the craft that was captured that day. However, these days, sightings like these get lost in the news cycle constantly.
A UFO in China's skies forced Zhoushan Airport to stop operations on July 7th. Outbound flights were grounded after the unidentified flying object was detected by a flight crew.
People describe seeing an unexplained circular light seen hovering high over Moscow on Wednesday evening.
This video posted to a South San Jose Nextdoor page shows a small light travel across the sky for about a minute. Then a flash and boom, and it disappears.
Oh yeah, that doesn't do it justice at all.
This guy can even summon them on demand.
Everyone's gonna think you're absolutely nuts.
Well, I thought I was absolutely nuts.
Until the prophet started praying for a sighting. I wasn't exactly convinced.
I pray, oh Yahweh, that you send a sighting so that they know that I am not mentally ill. I am not a false prophet, like those who seek to kill me say I am.
I see something straight up.
Oh, brother, look at it, there it is.
Now, if Yahweh is incredible enough for you, what if nations and militaries from around the world decided to release their own recordings of UFOs? What you're looking at is footage officially released by the Chilean Navy in 2017 of an unknown craft spraying an unknown gas into the skies above Chile. The Navy went public with the footage in hopes that it would help identify what this object was. Likewise, a military helicopter in Puerto Rico captured this small object, quickly darting across the countryside. Now, if we're willing to accept that various militaries, governments, and mainstream media organizations have outright admitted that there's something very odd going on in the skies, then maybe we shouldn't be so quick to dismiss the thousands of amateur UFO videos that litter the web as hoaxes. I mean, these go back to the 80s and 90s, when it would have been extremely difficult to convincingly fake. Today, everyone basically has a high-definition camera on them at all times. You would expect that people would be constantly capturing weird things. And they are.
We saw that.
Right there, down the left. Right there.
You're
Boom,
right.
it's gone.
And a clever way that some UFO hunters spot these objects are moon transits. Even with a moderately powered consumer telescope, it's possible to record the silhouette of objects in orbit as they cross in front of the moon in the night sky. However, this method seems to catch some stuff that defies any common sense explanation. Space debris, you say? I don't think space debris has thrusters, or can make turns. But what about the people who we know have actually been to space? What do they have to say on the subject? Mercury astronaut Gordon Cooper, who broke a record for the number of orbits around Earth, had encountered UFOs even before joining the space program, while flying over Central Europe with his fighter squadron.
There were a number of extraterrestrial vehicles out there cruising around, flying the same kind of formation we fly in our fighters. They didn't have wings, they were saucer-shaped, and we never could get as high or as fast as they were. This universe is limitless, and we're kind of vain to think that we're the only ones that exist here.
Even the second man on the moon, Buzz Aldrin, says that he saw something during the Apollo 11 mission.
We were smart enough to not say, Houston, there's a light out there that's following us. So technically, it becomes an unidentified flying object.
Crazy old Buzz even had this odd statement, which he gave on live TV.
We should go boldly where man has not gone before. Visit the moon of Mars. There's a monolith there, a very unusual structure on this little potato-shaped object that goes around Mars once in 7 hours. When people find out about that, they're going to say, who put that there? Who put that there? Well, the universe put it there. If you choose, God put it there.
But if advanced intelligence exists in our solar system, then the question begs to be asked, what do they look like? What you're looking at was absolutely a real living organism, and not a fake, or a construction from other animal parts. This tiny mummy is 6 inches long, and was discovered by locals in the Atacama Desert of Chile. It was brought to Stanford University for testing to determine exactly what it is.
From a clinical standpoint, it's a human mutation, because just a preliminary examination of this sample is that it is obviously older than just an aborted fetus.
In fact, dental analysis suggests that whatever this thing was, it lived to be about 8 years old.
In the most interesting and outrageous case, it is something that is not human and not primate, but still hominid.
So it's a 6-inch tall, 8-year-old child. Does that make any sense? And it's not the only similar thing to have been found. This specimen was found in 2015 by the Govashi River in western Russia, and it has many similar features as the creature found in the Atacama Desert. Also in Russia is this guy, known as the Kishtim bean, which went missing soon after initial testing determined that it was a biological entity and not a hoax. These are all well-documented cases, yet it's still widely thought that believing in, or generally being interested in the topic of aliens is crazy. And even if it's all true, what does it have to do with most people's daily lives? Why does it even matter?
The phenomenon itself opens up vistas, profound vistas of thought. When you think of the history of this, it's an entirely different take on our history. When you think about the science, how is this stuff even possible? And by studying the science, you really are getting into the true cutting-edge scientific questions of our day.
And perhaps that's exactly why this information is being kept just enough out of public discourse that it never really needs to be acknowledged. Actually, this information is aggressively suppressed, in many cases, by the very federal agency entrusted with finding the answers to these questions. However, to find out more, you'll have to subscribe to more videos, or you can check out Woke the Movie in its entirety. Thanks for watching.